Hey guys, welcome back to Brian's Training Room. Today is the fourth and final episode on the post-war Lionel Billboards. This one is going to be a little bit more fun. We get to explore some of the specialty, oddball, and even some rare dealer display boards. So I'm looking forward to that, and it's coming your way.
In the examples we have just seen is ample proof that Lionel is maintaining its policy of keeping model railroading timely, up to the minute, and geared to the space age in both 027 and HO gauge.
Okay, so this episode has a little bit different format or portion than the others from 1949 to say 68, where we just kind of went through and showed everything. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to take sort of a section, say like some of the dealer display billboards that fit into the holders. I'm going to go through each of those variations and show them close up. I'm going to show, the factory error section separately, maybe some of the other oddball things, maybe some of the fake and not so real ones. All that stuff is going to be sort of compartmentalized, so you can kind of go through each section to the ones that you have most interest to and kind of look at those more closely. So it should be a lot of fun. Let's go check them out. So as you guys recall, when we were going through some of the pages of the catalogs year by year, there were instances where there were certain billboards that were shown in the catalog that were not produced, such as in this 1950 Dealer Advanced catalog, where it shows this incredible billboard here, or as you said, in the consumer catalog where it showed a different one that they did not make. Man, I would love to find these. If you know where the artwork for these are, or you have one of these billboards used for the catalog artwork, I'd love to see it. Please reach out to me. Let's check the rest of these out. The billboards that were shown in the catalogs, but never made. There were 14 such billboards, starting with the 1950 Advanced catalog. It shows a billboard in a white wooden frame. The billboard says Lionel, Golden Anniversary, 1900 to 1950. It shows two boys looking at a Santa Fe F3 and a steam engine. What an amazing billboard. The 1950 Consumer Catalog also shows another awesome billboard. This one in full color, in the green frame that was produced. It says Lionel Magnetraction, gives you more speed, more pull, more climb, more control. It shows a boy looking at a Santa Fe F3 speeding by. Wow. As we turn to 1951, another billboard appears. It reads, "Wow, it's a Lionel." It shows an excited boy with his equally excited dog watching a Lionel train whiz by a 145 Watchman. Just an amazing full-color billboard I would love to have. The unproduced billboard from 1953 was a little hidden, but in plain sight. On page 21 of the consumer catalog, a billboard that reads Lionel O-Gauge plus Lionel Magnetraction. More pull, more speed, more power. The billboard had a black background and shows a set of power trucks with a bolt of electricity on it. Of note, the green frame says Lionel instead of Standard. I almost missed this billboard completely. 1954 did not disappoint. A full-color billboard was shown. It read, "Only Lionel has Magnetraction. More speed, more power, more climb." It shows the face of a happy boy, glad his trains have Magnetraction. This billboard finds its way into the 1955 and 1956 catalogs. I feel like this one has got to exist. 1961 was a little bit of a mystery. The catalog shows a standard set of billboards, except for one board that is almost fully covered. It has some pink showing and the letter E. It appears to be a billboard for the race sets that reads Finish Line and shows 2 cars. But they didn't make that billboard in O gauge size, just the HO size as shown. Why did they do that? Of course, the 1961 cover shows 2 unproduced billboards as well, similar to some shown later on in this episode. The 1962 consumer catalog shows a hidden gem as well. On page 19, a larger-than-life billboard reads Super O Track, the very best. It is shown in a green billboard frame. They weren't lying. Super O Track is the best. Finally, 1963 provided the last of the cataloged but unproduced billboards. The advanced catalog shows 3 billboards. 1 for Lionel Porter, 1 for model racing, and 1 for the Navy. All would have been great ones. The consumer catalog shows an additional 2 billboards. 1 for the Lionel Spear record players and 1 for the Lionel Porter. Those would also have been great additions. Wow, 5 unproduced billboards in 1 year. Opportunity lost. So Lionel actually produced a billboard for Silver Springs. Remember, this is America's Big 3, Grand Canyon, Niagara Falls, and Silver Springs, which is Florida's underwater fairyland. So this is one of the ones that would have been available in the set of billboards. But Silver Springs said, hey, this works great, and on their own produced a number of billboards. Let's take a little closer look at some of the ones that are out there. The Silver Springs Billboards. One of the more challenging and fun billboards to collect are the Silver Springs advertisements. According to Bob Osterhoff and other collectors, Silver Springs and Lionel had a strong relationship. Apparently, the sales team really enjoyed spending time in Florida. Letters and billboards were sent out to owners of Lionel trains, with Lionel apparently supplying that information to Silver Springs. That said, other than the billboards included in the 310 sets, the billboards for Silver Springs were not produced by Lionel. There are 2 main border colors and multiple variations of the advertisement. I'm not sure how many there are, but we don't have time to see them all. This video of the release of hundreds of Lionel submarines appears to have been filmed at Silver Springs. I really love this shot, and you can see the quote-unquote mermaids from Silver Springs helping out with the setup and the collection of the submarines. Absolutely amazing. That would have been a fun to watch experience, with a shot of the glass-bottom boats that they had. All of the billboards were the correct size to fit in the Lionel frames. Most of the boards have a blue backside. There are some modern reproductions of the boards out there, but most are marked as such. Good luck. So in this interesting box, we've got ourselves a billboard. Let's check it out. The Selony Forrell billboard. One of the more unusual billboards to collect is the Selony Forrell. This board shows a woman laying on red carpet. She's wearing a red dress with a paisley pattern, and the board reads, "Carpets of Forrell polyester are flooring everybody. How about you?" A cute play on words for sure. The rear of the board is printed with a stylized Selony Forrell, a contemporary carpet fiber. It also has a copyright line that reads Selony. Forrell is a registered trademark of Fiber Industries, Inc. The logo of Selony's Forrell was used from 1966 to about the early 70s. This amazing billboard was not produced by Lionel, but it was distributed in a unique box that also included a Lionel 310 billboard frame. So, Fiber Industries must have acquired a number of frames to include with their advertisement. The box is particularly interesting and helps to date the billboard to the late 60s or possibly the early 70s. This box pattern has been observed on a master carton of 1970 smoke pellets and a late 60s slot car maintenance kit shared by a fellow collector. Thanks, Mike. It is also notable that the billboard frame is the very dark green postwar version, which is correct for the late 60s. I found another advertisement from 1967 with a model that looks very similar to the one in the carpet. Let's go with it. Again, according to Bob Osterhoff, Madison Hardware had multiple examples of the billboards in boxes, but there's no documentation as to Lionel's involvement. The box lends me to believe that Lionel may have helped to facilitate the production of the billboard, having a relationship already with a box manufacturer. It's just one of the billboards you have to complete your collection. So as we dig into the dealer display billboards, there's essentially sort of two sizes. So we're going to go over the sort of the smaller size, which are the ones that actually fit in the actual billboard holders. The small dealer billboards. The collection of 4 dealer billboards that fit nicely into the green frames are typically found on some of the dealer displays. These were not distributed to consumers and are a collector favorite. They are as follows. Lionel Locos, puff clean white smoke. This billboard shows a steam engine's smokestack, billowing clean white smoke. Perfect for the dealer who wants to sell more smoke pellets. Lionel trains with built-in remote control whistle. A striking red and yellow billboard with a whistle, ideal for scaring the family cat or dog. Lionel Magnetraction. More climb, speed, and pull. This billboard is blue and yellow with 2 train sets, one climbing a steep grade. It was what every boy wanted. Lionel, real railroad, remote control, knuckle couplers. A bold, red and yellow billboard highlighting authentic railroad equipment. These 4 billboards are a highlight of any dealer display or collection and are highly sought after. According to the images shown in the dealer display catalogs, it appears that these billboards were used between 1953 and 1955. Beware of reproduction and fake billboards. They are out there. And again, there's 2 sizes of the dealer display billboards. This is the larger size, which would not have fit in the holders available for them. Let's check these out. The large dealer billboards on wooden bases. So there are 2 billboards that Lionel placed on dealer displays. At first, I thought these were early billboards from, say, 1949 because of the bases. But they are shown on dealer displays in the 1956 dealer display catalog. Notice that the D163 shows both board variations on the layout. The neat thing about these billboards is that they are freestanding with their own wooden base attached. The billboards measure 6.5 inches wide and 4 inches tall, much larger than the smaller boards that would fit in the frames. Sometimes these billboards will show up without the bases. Check to make sure that they were not cut, since they were glued into the wood bases originally. The boards are double-sided. They have bold colors, with the lettering typically very bright or neon in presentation. Again, there are 2 billboards, each with a few variations to collect. Both have one side that reads Lionel for railroad realism, but there are 2 variations of the backs of the board. One version reads Lionel trains with magnetraction, real smoke, real whistles, and horns. The other reads Lionel trains, just like real trains. There are variations in the colors of the printing to look for, so you just can't have 2. So did you know that Channel Master actually had an uncatalogued sets that they made available? And you know what was special about those sets? They had this billboard in them. So cool. Let's check it out. The Channel Master Billboard. According to John Schmidt with Project Roar, in 1960, Channel Master had a promotion in which radio dealers could earn train sets to use in their store for buying Channel Master products. Then they could sell or give away these train sets as promotions to customers. These uncatalogued sets contain the unique Channel Master billboard. The billboard is the standard size that would fit in the green frames. It reads, Channel Master. Works wonders in sight and sound. Antennas, radios, hi-fi, and tubes. A fantastic billboard, only available when acquiring a Channel Master set from 1960. Did you know that in 1964 there was an uncatalogued set that had a unique billboard? It's this one. We definitely need to check this one out. The Target Range Billboard. Even though the billboards were winding down in the 60s and there wasn't much to talk about, there was one last hurrah, the red and white Target Range Billboard. In 1964, Lionel produced uncatalogued set number 19332. According to John Schmid and Project Roar, this set was available from Western Auto. Included in this outfit is one of the rarest billboards to collect, the red and white Target Range Billboard, which is unique to this set. This billboard, which was the standard size and would fit into a 310 frame, was similar to the multicolored Target Range billboard produced a few years earlier, but with only red printing. The card does have the part number 311-25 and is dated 8 of 64. Few of these sets and billboards have survived, since it was uncatalogued, and the billboard does not have Lionel printed anywhere on the card. As noted later, there are a number of really well done fakes of this billboard, so be careful when trying to purchase one. I just so happen to have a reproduction worth shooting at for the layout. The original sits in the display case, safe from straying missiles. So let's see what my shot's like here. All right, let's go for that guy first. Okay. Look at that. Come on. Yeah, well. Fine. Ooh. Bullseye. This is the cover of the 1961 consumer catalog. What's really interesting, it shows this family playing trains, but what's on the layout are little specialty billboards that say, hey, 027, Super O, or buy this set. That's kind of neat. Did they actually make billboards like that? Darn right they did. Let's show those to you. The Dealer Set Display Billboards. These boards are very simple, with the set number, description, and suggested retail of the set all professionally printed in black ink with a white background. They were designed to fit into the 310 frames and placed on dealer displays in the store to help sell that year's products. The origin of the boards is unknown. To start, Bob Osterhoff's book shares a small selection of billboards dating to 1961. The boards illustrated show advertisements for 027 sets like the 1641, all the way to a top-of-the-line Super O set number 2573. Others have been found, like these billboards from 1963 for set number 13098, 13108, and 13128. That is just amazing. If you have any information about these billboards, how they were distributed, and what others are out there, please share that with me at brianstrainroom@gmail.com. Just an amazing array of rare dealer display billboards. As you guys know, I really go after and enjoy factory error or oddball Lionel products, such as this 3540 sort of radar car here with double stamped. Pretty cool stuff. But did they make, well, billboards and factory errors? You're darn right they did. And here they are right here. We're going to explore these really fascinating pieces. Factory error / reject boards. As most of you guys know, I love factory error and reject post-war Lionel trains. Finding a set of Lionel billboards that were misprinted just made my day. Let's take a look. What I love about this set of billboards is that it gives a glimpse into the printing process of the boards. Unlike today's printing process, the boards were printed using offset multicolor printing. Therefore, if the sheet and rollers are out of sync, you get a blurred image where the colors don't mesh as shown. It appears that the green of the borders and the lettering was correct, and then the yellow and black were also printed correctly. Things got a little crazy after that, with the red and blue shifted down. Most likely the sheets slipped on the rollers and misaligned the other colors. Shown are the correct billboards next to the misprints. I love this stuff. So like with any collectible, and even a collectible that might have a little bit of value, are there sort of fakes or reproductions out there? Absolutely. This right here was never made. It's made from basically a Madison hardware sticker, and this looks like the original, but it's not. Let's check these out too. Reproduction and fake billboards. Like any collectible that has value, or so few have been found, reproduction and fake billboards have certainly been made. So, a reproduction, which is represented as not being original, but emulates or seeks to supply the buyer with a reasonable placeholder for a rare item, is without question okay. Keeping in mind the price paid for that should be minimal and fair. A fake is a different story. That is when the seller is touting the item as original and rare and is also asking a high price. That is not okay. So when searching for a valuable collectible, do your research, know your seller, and when possible, ask a fellow collector for their opinion and advice. The Madison Hardware billboard is a reproduction. Lionel never made one like this, but it would have been really cool if they did. This is simply a blown-up version of their famous sticker. Looks great on the layout and was inexpensive. A great reproduction. Now, here is the red and white target range billboards. One is real. The other is fake. Can you tell? I can't even get a good shot of what I see in person, so buying with just a photo can also be a challenge. So be careful. Lastly, see this small dealer display board for the whistle? It is also a fake. Not until I was able to examine it next to the other two that are original did it just start to stand out that it was fake. The feel and texture of the printing is just not the same, and the details are a little fuzzy. It was a high quality copy that looks great, but it is not original. Also note, the Channel Master billboard has been faked as well, so just be aware. And there are just two of the examples that are out there. Buying fake does happen, and it sucks, but can become a great learning experience. Plus, they'll never find that guy. Okay, I'm kidding. Good luck and happy hunting. All right, guys, well, that pretty much wraps up my episode on the sort of oddball, specialty, and dealer display billboards from the post-war era. So it's been a lot of fun. Hopefully you learned a little something, found something cool to collect, and maybe even find something out there and search for something I don't even know about. I'd love to hear about it if you do. This has been a lot of fun, and as always, thanks for joining me on Brian's Train Room.
Look at her streak along the rails. It's a Lionel.